Greetings! Welcome to another instance of the Relics of Hyrule video guide. Today I'm going to be talking about Kakariko Graveyard, which was a huge project. Well, it wasn't a huge, it was a big project. And I'm going to go through everything, single grave. There's over 300 graves, and over 100 of them are readable and have things attached to them. Epitaphs, names. Some of them were user submitted. Some of them were user submitted. Some of them are jokes. Some of them are creepy. Some of them are sad. Some of them are, I don't know, inspiring. Some of them are references, and there's a lot of inside information in this. Kakariko Graveyard was inspired by games that have, you know, silly things in graveyards. I've always wanted to do that for Relics of Hyrule, and I just went all out. 18 by 18. It's a grid of 18 graves by 18. So each grave has a column, letter, and row number. So this one is A13 that I'm looking at right now. And I have a grid. I made a grid of all of them. Here it is. Boom. That's how I keep track of where all the graves are, which ones are used, which ones aren't. And I am actually looking right now at the Relics of Hyrule wiki page for Kakariko Graveyard, so I can tell you what everything is. So let's begin at the beginning, go on until we reach the end, and then stop. First grave, A1, is Dompe's grave. At home with the dead more than he ever was with the living. This was submitted by a user. And Dompe's shovel is a unique battle axe that's nearby. A2, if people were rain, I was drizzle, and she was hurricane. This is a quote from Looking for Alaska by John Green. A3 is illegible, A4 is illegible, A5 is illegible, A6 is Mathras Grectus, the ruins of an ancient town became his grave, sleeping forever in the freezing caves. This was submitted by a user. As far as I know, the name Mathras Grectus, I mean, they submitted it. I couldn't find any reference to what Mathras Grectus is a reference to. In fact, if I search for Mathras Grectus on Google, not YouTube, Google, it'll come up with the Relics of Hyrule wiki page for Kakariko Graveyard. So this seems to be a pretty unique name that they submitted. Next one, A7 is illegible, A8 is illegible, A9 is illegible, A10 is illegible, A11, Edward, this headstone costs an arm and a leg. That's a reference to Edward Elric of Full Metal Alchemist. This was submitted by a user, name and all. A12 is illegible, A13, William, thank you, keep warm. This is actually a reference to Doctor Who. Specifically, it's the last line of the first Doctor, and William is the name of the actor who played the first Doctor, William Hartnell. And in fact, the entire 13th row, 13 down, they're all... ow, butts. They're all, I'm gonna turn off Frostfall. They are all references to Doctor Who. They're all the Doctors. So then they're all the final lines of the Doctor. So this one's William Hartnell. This one's Patrick Troughton. Second Doctor, No, What Are You Doing? John Pertwee. Don't cry, where there's life, there's... and it didn't get finished. Fourth Doctor, Tom Baker. It's the end. There's more to that quote. It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for. But I've used that in other things, so I sort of cut it short. Fifth Doctor, Peter Davison, Adric. It should say Peter, but I seem to have forgotten to put that. Colin, I change. I feel it. Our future is in safe hands. That's Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor. And this is not from the series, it's from the an audio drama, because the Sixth Doctor's actual last words are carrot juice in the series, in the TV series, and I was like, that's lame. Seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. I've got to stop him. This comes from the 1998 TV movie, Doctor Who. Eighth Doctor, Paul McGann. Physician, heal thyself. And that's from Night of the Doctor. War Doctor, John Hurt. I suppose it makes sense, wearing a bit thin. This is from Day of the Doctor, when he regenerates. Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston. Rose, before I go, I just want to say that you were fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And you know what? So was I. 10th Doctor, David Tennant. I don't want to go. 11th Doctor, Matt Smith. We're all different through our lives, and that's okay, that's good, as long as you remember all the people you used to be. That's from Time of the Doctor. And Peter Capaldi's Doctor hasn't regenerated yet, but I'm reserving this gravestone for the 12th Doctor. Okay, so I just sort of went out of order there. That went A13, B13, C13, D13, E13, F13, G13, H13, I13, J13, that's A13, A14, 2 faded, 15 is illegible, is that 16? I think that's A16. Yeah, this is A16. This is a quote from the poem called The Willow Tree by Lewis Carroll. I was careful to put it under a tree. This one's 2 faded. It's A17 and A18. Alan, I wish to swim in both directions at once. Desire success, court failure. And this is a tribute to Alan Rickman. Alright, so that's column A. Let's do column B. B1, nothing. B2. B3, my expectations, my loneliness, my fear. For you, my child, I will put them aside. And this is from Undertale. It's a quote from Goat Mom. Crap, I forget her real name. I'll think of it. It's from Undertale. A B4, nothing. B5, nothing. B6, we shall wash the dark and blood-red sea. B6, that's from Devil and the Deep Dark Ocean by Nightwish. There are a lot of Nightwish quotes in this graveyard. B7 is blank, and B8, Gordon. Don't panic, because panic is contagious. So this one doesn't seem like anything, but it's actually a so I work in a museum, and our head of security passed away a few months ago. As of making this video, when the head of security at our museum passed away, his catchphrase was "Don't panic, because panic is contagious." So I decided to put that in sort of as a personal thing. There are some personal things in here, but I wanted to honor him in a small way. Which one is that? That's B8. I have the grid on my phone, and my phone keeps deciding to turn off because it's tired of living. Okay. B7, 2 faded. B8, 2 faded. No, that was B8. B8. Dang it. B8, B9, B10, B11, B12. Catherine, you cannot control who you fall for, nor can you control the paths you both follow. That was just meant to be, what am I talking about? That was meant to be sort of sad. Patrick, oh yeah, we already saw that one. B13, B14, B15, B16, B17, and B18. Yulia. This is for a long-forgotten light at the end of the world. That is a quote from The Islander by Nightwish. And that ends B, column B. Let's do column C. C1, nothing. C2, nothing. C3, nothing. C4, Carl, woe to those who stop at the horizon. And the name, Carl, is a reference to Carl Sagan, and the quote is from Nightwish's song, Sagan. C5, nothing. C6, nothing. C7, C8, C9. Arthur, it's just the cold. That was a joke. Little joke there. C9. That was a, yeah, okay. C12, too faded. I am going to add something to it at some point. Probably, wait. Oh, that's the wrong one. Arthur, it's just the cold. Oh, okay, so C10 is blank, C11 is blank, C12, Christopher, at some point in your lives, every one of you will notice that you have in your life one person, one friend whom you love and care for very much. When that person is gone, there will be nothing like that in your life ever again. That is a quote from Christopher Lee, so it's in honor of Christopher Lee. C13 we've seen. C14, C15, C16, C17, and C18. Took an arrow to the knee. That was user submitted, and it's obviously in reference to the classic timeless joke that Skyrim has unleashed on the world. Alright, row D. D1, nothing. D2, nothing. D3, nothing. D4, nothing. D5, nothing. D6, McNitpick. This soup is too bitter. And right next to it is a normal Hylian shield. Here's the reason. Okay. McNitpick is a reference to the character Douchey McNitpick from Nostalgia Critic, created by Doug Walter. And the reason the soup is too bitter is sort of to joke that he's like complaining about soup that was poisoned, because he's just so annoying and he's constantly complaining about everything. The reason I put the Hylian shield right next to it is because when I first released the Hylian shield, lots of people were complaining that it was too small, and I'm like, it's not too small, it's the proper size. So this is sort of an up yours to the, I mean, it's, I know I didn't have to listen to them, but it's kind of annoying when you make something and I don't know. It was just annoying. I thought it was annoying. I'll be frank, it's annoying. So shut up about the Hylian shield. Oh, that was angry, sorry. It was just really frustrating. So I put this here as sort of a joke, be like, listen, the Hylian shield is fine, stop nitpicking. Like, one person said make it 1% bigger or 10% bigger or something, and I'm like, that's nothing. Okay. Okay, moving on. D6 is nothing but D8. Will we find each other in the dark? That is a reference to Beauty of the Beast by Nightwish. D9, Dresden, he died doing the right thing. This one was user submitted. I think it's a reference to Dresden of the Dresden Files, but I'm not sure. D8, nothing. D11, nothing. D12, Lee. To be a legend, you've either got to be dead or excessively old. There's another reference to Christopher Lee. Another quote from him. We've already been there. That's D13 for Tom Baker. D14, there's nothing there. D15, D16. Here lies a man once called Ned, now more properly called Dead. That was user submitted. I wonder what will happen. This one is a little strange. So this one works as its own sort of separate thing, but it's actually a reference to Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared episode 4. I just got fascinated by those weird videos. And D18 is similar. I can't do this anymore. E18, no more songs. So these three are quotes from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. E18 is a quote from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. These three, this little corner here is the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared corner. Speaking of E, let's go up to E. E1, that's a post. E1, Kevian, I am home, I am in peace. The name was user submitted, and the quote is from White Knight Fantasy by Nightwish. Here lies Edmund Blackadder, he's bloody annoyed. It's a reference to Blackadder. E2. And sometimes the numbers correspond, so like E2, E is E, and then B is 2, second letter in the alphabet, so I put Edmund Blackadder here, because the initials lined up, so sometimes I'll do that. E3 has nothing, E4 nothing, E5 nothing, E6, no, E6. Postman, always kept the delivery schedule as the highest priority, and that's user submitted. E7 is nothing, E8 nothing, E9. Why are there 2 moons? This was sort of meant as like a bit of lore, like Hyrule and Termina only have 1 moon, so why are there 2? And it's sort of there to make you start thinking, like, what exactly was going on there. The transition from Hyrule to Skyrim. Text is too faded to read. That is E9. That's E10. E11. Nothing. E12. Cadence. Why do I miss someone I never met? With bated breath I lay. That's from Cadence of Her Last Breath by Nightwish. This one we already saw. E14, there's nothing. E15, there's nothing. E16, E17. We are going to die, and that makes us the lucky ones. That is a quote by Richard Dawkins from his book Unweaving the Rainbow. And it goes on to say that because we sort of won the lottery, because there's trillions of possible combinations of human DNA, and there's so many possibilities, and like he says, there could have been poets greater than Keats, scientists greater than Newton, but that's not what happened. It was just this random chance, and the vast majority of people that could have been will never see the light of day. So because we were given the gift of life and the gift of death, because we exist, we are capable of existence, whereas these people who will never exist won't even get the benefit of dying. And it's weird. It's an interesting, like, sort of thought-provoking. Let's move on. No more songs. Thank you. Okay. Let's move on to F. We are third of the way there. Okay, win it. Sometimes a thing gets broke, can't be fixed. That's a reference to Firefly. So that's F1 and F. Oh wow, I'm going through so many torches. F2, nothing. F3, nothing. 4, nothing. F5. Here's a lullaby to close your eyes. Goodbye. It was always you that I despised. I don't feel enough for you to cry. That is a reference to the Room of Angel from the soundtrack to Silent Hill 4. F6, you are the moon pulling my black waters. That is from Rest Call by Nightwish. And then F6, that one, F8, F9, this is F9. He's not pining, he's passed on. This parrot is no more. He has ceased to be, he's expired and gone to meet his maker. He's a stiff. Bereft of life, he rests in peace. His metabolic processes are now history. He's off the twig, he's kicked the bucket, shuffled off his mortal coil, run down the curtain, and joined the bleeding choir invisible. This is an ex-parrot. And that's, of course, from the parrot sketch by Monty Python. I do notice I made a typo there, which I'll have to fix. F10, nothing. F11, nothing. F12, nothing. F13, we've already seen. F14, F15, 16, 17, and 18. G1. Asked a Gibdo, "Are you my mummy?" It's a joke. It's partially a reference to Doctor Who, The Empty Child. Are you my mummy? And I added the Gibdo, so it's sort of a double. It's a joke and it's a reference to Doctor Who. G2, nothing. G3, nothing. G4, G5, G6. All life is to fear for life. That is a quote from Planet Hell by Nightwish. G7 is blank. G8, I'm afraid, I'm so afraid. It works as not as a without being a reference, but it is a quote from The Poet and the Pendulum by Nightwish. Next one is G10, so this one's blank. This one's blank. No, this one's not blank. My mistake. This one is blank. This one's not blank. This one is Jeff. Look out, there's a monster coming. And it's a reference to Jeff Peterson of The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. There's nothing on G11 or G12. We've seen G13. It's 7th Doctor. G14 is nothing but G15. I just wish the tide would catch me first and give me death I always longed for. That is from The Poet and the Pendulum by Nightwish. And the rest of G, I believe, is blank. Yes. Okay, so let's do H. H1, nothing. And H2, nothing. H3, Brandon, it can't rain all the time. And that's from The Crow. And Brandon is reference to Brandon Lee. H4, nothing. H5, nothing. H6, H7, H8, H8. Oh, is this H8? No, that's not H8. This is H8. That's not H8. Where am I? Where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 9. H9 is nothing. H10. This is why I've been doing it this way. H10, H11, H12. Don't cease your belief cycle. So H12, H is a very sparse column. H12 is it's a corruption of Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Don't cease your belief cycle. So it's sort of a joke. Seen that one. H14, Higher Than Hope My Cure Lies, which is from Higher Than Hope by Nightwish. And then this one is not even, you can't even see it. H13. Oh no, that's not H13. That's H16, H17. Quinn. Anyone who throws boomerangs has some real issues letting go. And this is a quote from Harley Quinn. Specifically, it's from Assault on Arkham, 2014. And H18 is blank. So 17, 16, H15. There's no gravestone. Well, there's a gravestone. It's just under the snow. Okay. We're almost halfway there. I1, nothing. I2, nothing. I3, I4, I5. Iwata, Here Lies a Legend. So this is a reference to Satoru Iwata, and it was user submitted. So it was his honors, Iwata. I6, nothing. I7, nothing. I8, nothing. I9. The hero who never was, forgotten by the time he guarded. This was user submitted, and I really liked this, because the hero who never was. That's an interesting thought. Which one is this? This is I-10, I-11. Beware the fury of a patient man. This is a quote by John Dryden. I-12 is blank. I-13 is John Hurt. And nothing until I-18, which is this one. I-18. God love and rest my soul with this sundown never ending. That is from Romanticide by Nightwish. Alright, we are halfway there. This is column J. J1, oh hi Mark, they betrayed me, they didn't keep their promise, they tricked me, and I don't care anymore. That is a quote from The Room. The essential classic, The Room. I-2, 3, and 4 are blank. I-5, Erdrick, it's awfully dark in here. The submission was the text was user submitted, and so was the name. It was two separate submissions. Which one is this? This is J6, J7, J8 are all blank, but J9 is Impa, Royal Handmaiden, Elder of Kakariko, Sage of Shadow. And I'm planning to add something here as a piece of treasure in the future. Anju, we shall meet the morning together. That is from Majora's Mask, and she's buried next to Cafe. We promised each other, both of which are quotes from Majora's Mask, and between the two is a couple's mask. There's nothing on J10 or J11. J12, we've seen J13, J14, J15, J16, J17, and J18 are all blank. Alright, let's do K. K1, we were a society dying of too much choice. That is from The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. 2 and 3 are blank. K4, I told you I was sick. That was just a joke that I added. K5 is blank. Say K6. Is this K6? Oh, this is K6. So K6, War Between Him and the Day. That is from Amaranth by Nightwish. And K8 is blank. K9, Rolf, he was a good dog. That was a dog. Actually, I think this is K7. Yeah, this is K7. K6 is blank. K7, K8, K9, and K9, of course, is K9. We saw K10. K11 is blank. K12 is blank. K13 we saw. K14 is blank. 15 is blank. 16 is Gregory. He seems fine. There seems to be a lot of jokes that, like, oh, this furniture's fine, this soup is too bitter, things like that. And the rest is, oh, Claire. Oh, how I wish for soothing rain. That is from Nemo by Nightwish. And in fact, the rest of it, and all I wish is to dream again, my loving heart lost in the dark, for my hope I'd give my everything. So all of those are quotes from Nemo by Nightwish. So these 4 gravestones do Nemo, or quote Nemo, that's what it is. Alright, that was K, let's do L. L1 is blank, L2 is blank, L3. Dylan, they've all got someone else, still, that's fine, I'm fine. That was, the name was submitted by a user, and the quote is from the Doctor Who episode Journey's End. 4, 5, and 6 are all blank, but L7, Caress the One, the Never Fading, that is from Amaranth, and it's right next to another quote from Amaranth. Amaranth by Nightwish, I mean. Next one is blank. L8, that's not L8. That's not L8. My mind is remarkably good at wiping away feelings that are no longer needed. So that's L11. L10 is blank, L9 is blank, L8 is blank, and L7 is from Amaranth. And this one was one that I just added myself. We've seen L13, L12 is blank, L13, L14, Leonard, a life is like a garden. Perfect memories can be had but not preserved except in memory, live long and prosper. That's a reference to Leonard Nimoy. It's a quote from Leonard Nimoy. And the rest are blank except L18. Okay, let's do M1. She said no, it wasn't the answer I wanted to hear, but I still felt free, sad but free. That was one that I added myself. M2 is nothing, M3 nothing, M4 nothing, M5 nothing, M6 nothing, M7 Lotto, Rain in Your Heart, the Tears of Snow White Sorrow. That's from Amaranth. So this whole line, starting with this one, quotes Amaranth. Next one is nothing. He ate one too many Miltons. They are very poisonous. Do not eat. That is a reference to Game Grumps. Specifically, let's see if I can bring up. So, paraphrase from the Game Grumps episode, Pokemon Fire Red, What a Dream, and it's part 17. This little improv thing that they did. So that's M9, and then the rest of M until M18 is blank. M18 is My Loving Heart, Lost in the Dark, which we've already seen, quoting Nemo. Now then, all of N, this entire row, is readable. And they're all quotes from Nightwish. So this is the Nightwish row. Row N is Nightwish. N1, Thomas was called from the cares of the world. That's from Poet and the Pendulum. And Thomas is Thomas Holopainen, one of the founders of Nightwish. Marco, he stopped crying at the end of each beautiful day. Music he wrote, Empu, the music he wrote had too long been without silence. Joka, found with a smile on his face. Stay by my side till all goes dark forever. My fall will be for you. So this, all of these four are from Poet and the Pendulum. This one is from this one changed. So it was originally a pen and 1,000 pages of erased text, but I changed it to another quote from another Nightwish song. I don't remember which song it is. I'll look it up and I'll put it on screen, which song this came from, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I changed it from 1,000 pages of erased text because it didn't really fit as an epitaph. It was a continuation from Poet of the Pendulum, but it didn't really fit as an epitaph, and I wanted to reference more Nightwish songs. Tarja, My Fall Will Be For You, that's from Ghost Love Score. Annette, Caress the One, the Hiding Amaranth in the Land of the Daybreak, that's from Amaranth, and it continues the quotes from Amaranth. Okay, next one. Floor, We Are One, We Are a Universe, the Forebears of What Will Be. That is from my favorite song. Wait. I think it's from my favorite song. Yeah, it's from The Greatest Show on Earth, which is my favorite song by Nightwish, and ever. I do not wish to evade the world, but I will forever build my own. That's from My Walden. Troy, if you find this line, remember not the hand that wrote it. That's from Dead Boy's poem. Remember only the verse, the song makers cry, the one without tears, that's from Dead Boy's poem. Being wanted became a thrill I never knew, also Dead Boy's poem. So much more I wanted to give to those who loved me, Dead Boy's poem. I'm sorry. Technically, this is from Dead Boy's poem, but it's also, it fits as its own thing. Time will tell this bitter farewell, also Dead Boy's poem. I live no more to shame nor me nor you, also Dead Boy's poem. I wish I didn't feel for you anymore, also Dead Boy's poem. For my hope I give my everything, that's from Nemo. So most of this row is Poet and the Pendulum and Dead Boy's poem, with a few little bits here and there. Okay, let's move on to O. O has pretty much nothing until number 6. My love will be in you, so that's from Ghost Love Score, and it's right next to the other one, the other quote from Ghost Love Score. And there's nothing until O13. I met you once, I will never see you again, I will miss you. Oh, that's 08, my mistake. That's another one that I added myself from my own experiences. 10, 11. Oh, that's 13. Clara, you are going to be alone now. That's from Doctor Who. Clara Oswald. Specifically, it's from the episode Face the Raven. And then there's nothing until O18. Down here. That's O13 that I was just at. O18, Our Walk Has Been Sublime. That's from Our Decades in the Sun by Nightwish. And the entire text of the song is right here as a poem. So that's nice. P, we're almost there. We have 3 more rows left. P1, nothing. And P3, P2 is nothing. P3 is Lonk. I can't wait to bomb some Dodongos. That was a joke, and it's a reference. The name is a reference. The phrase is from Wand of Gamelon, and Lonk is sort of a reference to I think it's Game Grumps, or something, making fun of Link's name, or it's a joke, stupid Link. I don't know. 4, nothing. 5, nothing. 6, nothing. Oh, 6. You were the one to cut me, so I'll bleed forever. 06 is from Ghost Love Score, so it's a continuation of Ghost Love Score with P6 and N6, or this is P. 06 and P6. P7 is nothing. P8. Let's see, P8. P8. There's nothing until P12. Here's P12. Goodness is about what you do, not who you pray to, and that's from Terry Pratchett. It's a quote by Terry Pratchett. And then 15. This is 15. Zara, she didn't deserve to die the way she did. This is actually a reference to Jurassic World, of all things. It was just sort of an opinion of mine at the time when that movie came out. I didn't like that they killed off the babysitter the way that they did, in sort of a long and like brutal way for no reason. Pratchett, death isn't cruel, Pratchett, death isn't cruel, merely terribly, terribly good as his job, and that's Terry Pratchett again. Okay, Q. Q1, nothing. Q2, nothing. Q3, M-Petch. This is a reference to Petch, specifically the video I'm Petch by Nate Wants to Battle on Juki Shed. Petch was this sort of weird Mii brawler character in Super Smash Bros. Based on Peach, but with like no nose and a huge mouth, and they made her talk in weird ways. There's nothing until Q6. Q6 is Into the Blue Memory from Ghost Love Score, so it continues P6, 06, and N6. And Q7 is nothing. There's nothing until Q9. And Q9, the price of getting what you want is getting what you once wanted. And that's actually a quote from The Sandman Volume 3 by Neil Gaiman. And then there's nothing until Q13. I am just burning all these torches. Q13, Jebediah, the Kuko could not hold his weight. Jebediah is a reference to Kerbal Space Program, and the idea of not being able to fly is also a reference to Kerbal Space Program, and then the idea of the Kuko, being able to fly with a Kuko, is sort of a reference to what you could do in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask by hovering with the Kuko. And then there's nothing else in column Q. So, the last one is column R. R1, Robin. The entire world is forever a little darker, less colorful, and less full of laughter in his absence. And this is, it's a quote by Zelda Williams about Robin Williams. And when Robin Williams passed away, I knew I had to include something to honor him, because he was such a huge Zelda fan that he named his daughter after Zelda. And this is a quote by Zelda Williams about Robin Williams, so I had to include something. R2 is nothing, R3 is nothing, R4 is nothing, R5 is nothing, R6 nothing, R7 is nothing, R8 nothing, R9 is nothing, R10 is nothing, 11 is nothing, 11 is not nothing, my mistake. R11 is Arabella. Do not wear black, do not be a widow, be happy, that is how I wish to think of you. And this is a reference to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is one of my favorite books. This quote was different when it first was here. It was originally Strange was the conditions of her death or something like that, and it didn't fit. I wanted it to be an actual quote from Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is a great book, and it's an even better miniseries. It's not often that the adaptation is better than the book, but I think the adaptation was better. 12 is blank, but 13, Morty. Nobody exists on purpose, nobody belongs anywhere, and everybody's going to die. This is a quote from Rick and Morty, and it's sort of serious, and it's followed right by a joke. What do you know, Morty? What do you know? And he didn't say that. It didn't say it that way. He was like, what do you know, Morty? What do you know? This is also a quote from Rick and Morty. And it's just, that show just doesn't care, and it has moments like that where it's like, oh crap, and then followed right by it's a joke. There's nothing there, and then the last one is R18, Williams. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel alone, and that's a quote by Robin Williams. And so Robin Williams bookends the entirety of row R. And that is Kakariko Graveyard. Those are all the major gravestones. The ones that are blank, there's a chance that they will change and be readable in future updates. I do have a plan for C6. I'm going to honor Carrie Fisher using C6. And then there's others that I'm planning to add in the future, but it won't be as, like, it'll be one or two at a time per update if I feel like it. It'll probably be that this will be how it is for a long time. It won't be all 300 are filled. It'll always have some that are blank and some that aren't. I think that's it. Thank you very much for watching Kakariko Graveyard. This has been Relics of Hyrule video guide. I'm Jay Calenad. Thanks for watching again. And feel free to help with the wiki. Keep supporting the mod. Watch Relics of Hyrule the series if you have any. If you're curious what this mod is about, the series is a great way to find out. So thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day.